5 phrases that destroy your masculine frame. Gentlemen, let's get one thing straight. If you want to judge the true character of a man, and specifically his ability to lead a woman and build a legacy, stop looking at the external metrics. Don't look at his bank account, the label on his suit, or the trophies on his wall. Look at his words. A man's tongue is the window to his mind, and in the context of a relationship, your speech is the mirror of your soul. Just as a piece of rotten fruit tells you everything you need to know about the health of the tree, careless, weak words reveal a mind that is unfit for leadership. Today, we are exposing the 5 phrases a foolish man always says. These are the words that strip away the mask of acting tough and reveal the underlying ignorance, arrogance, and insecurity. If you recognize these in your own vocabulary, it is a call to immediate change. If your woman hears these from you, her attraction to you will die a slow, silent death. To be a man of value, you must master your language. 1. It's not my fault. The first cry of a weak man is always blame. Whenever his relationship hits a rough patch, or his woman expresses a need he isn't meeting, his instinct is not reflection, it's accusation. He points the finger at her moods, at the economy, at his upbringing, or at his luck. He points at anything except the man in the mirror. Marcus Aurelius gave us the antidote. You have power over your mind, not outside events. A man who blames is a man who has surrendered his sovereignty. A foolish man escapes responsibility because responsibility feels like a burden, but a leader embraces it because he knows ownership is the only path to power. This is the first thing we establish inside the lead protocol. When things go wrong in your household, a leader doesn't look for a scapegoat. He asks, how did I fail to set the tone, and how do I fix it? Blame keeps you a victim. Ownership makes you a king. 2. I already know that. The second mark of a man who cannot lead is arrogance disguised as knowledge. A stupid man shuts down his woman and closes his ears to the world with this phrase. He interrupts the flow of wisdom because his ego is too fragile to admit he hasn't mastered a concept. But as Epictetus warned, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Wisdom requires the humility to be a student. The man who says, I already know, has decided to stop growing. And a man who stops growing is a man who cannot provide long-term security. He prefers the illusion of being right over the reality of being effective. In the lead protocol, we teach that a man's strength is rooted in his ability to listen, process, and adapt. The wise man approaches his relationship as an eternal student of his woman's heart and his own character. 3. That's impossible. The third phrase reveals a man who has accepted defeat before he even steps onto the field. To a man with a weak frame, challenges look like impenetrable walls. He convinces himself that a deep, loyal, and passionate long-term relationship is impossible in today's culture. He says it's impossible to stay in peak physical shape while working, or impossible to change his toxic habits. He says impossible because he is unwilling to endure the discipline required to be elite. Seneca reminded us, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. The wise man knows that impossible is just a word used by men who have given up on their potential. To the coward, effort is a chore. To a leader, effort is where the meaning of life is found. 4. I don't care. This phrase might seem harmless, but it betrays a deep foundational decay of the masculine spirit. While the Stoics practiced indifference toward things they couldn't control, the foolish man uses I don't care as a shield to hide his fear of failure. He says he doesn't care when his relationship is failing, or he doesn't care about his health, because he's afraid to try and fall short. Epictetus made it clear, some things are within our control, others are not. A leader cares deeply about his choices, his integrity, and the peace in his home. He cares about the standard he sets for his children. The fool uses I don't care as an escape from his duty. The sovereign man uses his care as a laser-focused tool to build his kingdom. We go deep into this psychological shift inside the lead protocol, removing the indifference that is actually just hidden cowardice. 5. What's in it for me? Finally, the phrase that exposes a man's selfishness at its core. The stupid man sees a relationship as a transaction, like a business deal where he's always trying to get the better end. He weighs every act of kindness or leadership by what he's getting in return. But Marcus Aurelius taught a higher law. What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee. A man who only leads when he's getting rewarded is not a leader. He's a child looking for a treat. A meaningful life, a life of true masculine value for society, is measured by what you contribute to the whole. A wise man seeks to add value to his woman's life, not exploit it. He understands that his woman follows him because he provides a vision and a safety that is bigger than his own personal desires. Conclusion: rise to the standard. Gentlemen, your words are not just sounds, they are habits of thought made audible. A weak man exposes his fractures every time he opens his mouth. A man of high frame, a man who is fit to lead, speaks with humility, responsibility, and virtue. If you want to be a man who adds value to this world, you must realize that when your language rises, your character follows. You cannot speak like a victim and live like a victor. If you are ready to stop making excuses and start taking the lead in your life, your fitness, and your relationships, then you are ready to put in the work. Join us in the LEAD protocol. We don't just talk about being a better man. We provide the biological and mental blueprint to actually become one. It is time to step up and reclaim your frame. Let us walk the path of strength and discipline together. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 phrases has been holding you back, and what is your plan to replace it with ownership today? I am reading every comment, and I expect nothing less than total accountability.